We've had all kinds of starting fives from different players over the years. From Allen Iverson,
Steph, Kobe, Mike, LeBron,
Diesel.
to Shaq.
My all-time starting five, including me, would be Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Durant.
But while Shaq has made some questionable all-time lists, he is totally right about the greatest starting five ever.
What's your all-time starting five, Shaq?
Curry at the 1.
Curry, okay.
Kobe at the 2. Jordan at the 3. Tim Duncan at the 4.
Okay.
And me at the 5.
I mean, goddamn, that's
And
a good
nobody's
ass
beating
team.
that team.
But even a list as solid as this has raised eyebrows. Where's Magic Johnson, or at least a pure point guard? And how does LeBron James get left out? Does this new team have any weakness? And is there a better team than this? Let's break it all down. When either making or listening to someone name an all-time starting five, people often make the mistake of thinking it's a ranking of the best basketball players in history. That usually leads to a list full of ball-dominant players. And as such, most starting fives typically feature MJ, LeBron, and Kobe. But in his latest list, Shaq has managed to drop one of these three, and it's LeBron. And in the NBA world, that's enough to start a beef.
Like, I hate doing these lists because I don't know how your guy's going to edit it. Let's just say I did that to somebody that didn't like us, and then they'll lead it off with Shaq excludes LeBron, right? And like it causes unnecessary beef.
But don't let that drama fool you, because this team is unstoppable. It has elite shooting, lockdown defense, post dominance, and championship pedigree across every position. Curry brings floor spacing and playmaking. Kobe and Jordan offer relentless scoring and competitive edge. Duncan adds a calm defensive anchor with high IQ, and Shaq handles the interior with physical dominance. This is a lineup built for both the modern game and the toughest eras of the past. You see, over the years, Shaq has shared different variations of his top five. In 2020, his lineup included Allen Iverson, Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, and himself. In 2016, he picked Magic Johnson, Jordan, Julius Erving, Karl Malone, and Bill Russell. Many would agree that the 2016 team is better than the 2020, but still, both lineups lack balance or lean too heavily on size. But this is usually the case when people select their starting fives. For instance, Kevin Durant's list featured himself alongside Curry, Jordan, LeBron, and Hakeem Olajuwon, emphasizing scoring versatility and rim protection. Kobe once picked Magic, Jordan, Larry Bird, Bill Russell, and Wilt Chamberlain, a group focused more on size, legacy, and leadership. LeBron's 2017 version had Magic, Jordan, Bird, Duncan, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which is quite a solid team. Generally, I think a team with Kobe and Jordan would be too ball dominant. Still, what makes this lineup different is how it blends eras. Curry gives it modern spacing and pace. Kobe and Jordan bring toughness and versatility on both ends. Duncan offers consistency and team-first discipline, and Shaq completes it with unmatched interior force. Compared to his earlier lists, this one feels more intentional, more refined, and better built to dominate across any generation. How? Let's start in the backcourt with Curry and Kobe.
You ask me my team, I need a shooter. I need the best shooter in the world. Second guy I named is a guy who I helped raise. I know he's a dog. I know what he's going to do.
Curry and Kobe are two guys who bring very different strengths, but complement each other in a way that makes this lineup especially difficult to defend. Steph Curry, with 4 NBA championships and 2 MVP awards, has redefined how basketball is played. His shooting range stretches defenses to their limits. Even without the ball, he constantly moves, drawing attention and creating space for teammates. His ability to force defenders to guard him 30 feet from the basket opens the floor in a way no player before him could. The one area where teams might try to exploit him is defense, especially against bigger, more physical guards. But offensively, he adds a modern dynamic to this Shaq starting five. Next to him is Kobe Bryant, bringing the Mamba mentality edge to things. His scoring ability covered all areas of the floor: post-ups, mid-range, threes, isolation, and transition. At his best, Kobe could guard elite perimeter scorers and still drop 30 on the other end. The only real criticism has been that at times he could stall an offense by taking over possessions late in the clock. But in a lineup like this, surrounded by other legends, he wouldn't have to do much. Just imagine Kobe, who many have called the most skillful NBA player ever, paired with Curry's shooting skills and this.
Steph, again! The beautiful ball handling, and then the flip shot off glass. Steph around Morrow to put it up and in. Steph lost the handle, regains, goes around Westbrook again, down the lane, and lay it up and in.
Now, we can compare this to other all-time backcourts, like Skip Bayless prefers Magic Johnson at point guard, praising his leadership and size. Magic averaged over 11 assists per game and was known for running the break and creating easy opportunities. But in today's game, his limited shooting range could make it harder to maximize spacing. Others, like Kevin Durant, have swapped out Kobe for players like himself, prioritizing length and versatility. But Curry's gravity and Kobe's shot making create pressure on defenses that's hard to replicate. Even Allen Iverson, who appeared in Shaq's earlier lineups, brought unmatched toughness and scoring instincts. But his inconsistent shooting and defensive size make Curry the more complete fit in a five-man unit. Curry and Kobe force opposing defenses into impossible choices. Overplay Curry on the perimeter, and Kobe punishes them with mid-range pull-ups or attacks at the rim. Collapse on Kobe, and Curry finds just enough daylight to hit a three from well beyond the arc. Add their combined basketball IQ and championship experience, and you get a backcourt that is both lethal and dependable. But this is only the beginning of what makes this Shaq team the greatest starting five ever. Shaq's front court is anchored by three of the most accomplished players in NBA history: Michael Jordan, Tim Duncan, and Shaquille O'Neal. Together, they form a trio that balances elite scoring, high-level defense, and championship leadership.
Double. You got Kobe and Michael doing this inner thing, and then you got the big fundamentals taking them up, facing you up, shooting off the glass. And
Off the glass.
Michael Jordan needs little introduction. The fact is, he's the best at what he does, which is to win. However, we all know that he likes to kidnap the ball and eventually force tough shots. Now, Tim Duncan is the one who brings stability and quiet dominance to this team. With 5 titles and 2 MVPs, he was the cornerstone of the San Antonio Spurs dynasty. Known as the Big Fundamental, Duncan averaged 11 rebounds and 2 blocks per game for much of his career, and anchored one of the most disciplined defensive systems in NBA history. While he wasn't known for his range shooting, he was efficient in the post, and his basketball IQ was through the roof. He doesn't need many touches, which is just perfect for a team that already has Kobe and LeBron. Then, at center, is Shaquille O'Neal, the most dominant player the league has ever seen. Shaq averaged 23.7 points and 10.9 rebounds per game during his prime. He achieved this by overpowering defenders in the post so much, it changed how teams defended the paint. He only has 2 weaknesses: free throws and occasional fatigue late in games. That occasional fatigue would later cost him a spot on Candace Parker's starting 5, leading to this.
Is it really though?
This is on the whim.
Damn, ain't no Shaq?
I knew you were gonna say that.
No Shaq?
Listen, he called somebody else the GOAT, so we got beat.
Ain't no Shaq?
In the Western Conference 6 games in a row, taking on the Phoenix Suns, who unfortunately will be without Devin.
Why?
But in an all-time lineup like this, Shaq is all good to go. Is it possible to make a trio better than Jordan with the skills, Shaq in the paint, and Duncan bringing balance? Former shooting guard Jason Terry once made a list that featured Larry Bird, Kevin Garnett, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Such a combination would bring a balance of shooting and defense with Bird's offensive versatility, Garnett's intensity, and Hakeem's footwork. But Jordan's defense surpasses Bird's, Duncan's consistency outweighs Garnett's volatility, and Shaq's physical presence is more overwhelming than Olajuwon's finesse. A more modern frontcourt combo is LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Victor Wembanyama. LeBron adds playmaking and size. Giannis brings unmatched athleticism, and Wembanyama offers rare rim protection and shooting. But Jordan remains a more complete scorer and defender than LeBron. Duncan has the edge in experience and decision-making over Giannis, and Wembanyama hasn't matched Shaq's dominance. But is there a lineup that can realistically beat this starting five? So what's so compelling about this list? Well, offensively, they score from all three levels. Curry stretches the floor with deep shooting, forcing defenses to defend far beyond the arc. Kobe and Jordan attack from mid-range and in isolation. Shaq dominates inside with unmatched physicality, and Duncan operates as a steady, efficient force cleaning the glass. Then defensively, the team is solid. Jordan and Kobe were elite perimeter defenders who could guard multiple positions. Duncan and Shaq protect the paint, block shots, and control the boards. The only potential concern is Curry's defense against bigger guards, but with this level of support around him, there can be no cause for alarm. Speaking of Curry, he once made an all-time list that had everyone buzzing.
Five-man NBA roster.
Current?
All time.
Of all time? Shaq at the center, Tim Duncan at the power forward, Bron at the 3, MJ at the 2, me at the 1.
It's tough to argue with.
That's
a squad.
Now, this is basically the same team as this Shaq list. The only difference is Curry swapped Kobe for LeBron. So, who wins between Shaq's starting five and Curry's team will depend on who you think is better, Kobe or LeBron. Besides that Curry list, Shaq's five have a clear edge against any team. LeBron's 2017 lineup of Magic, Jordan, Bird, Duncan, and Kareem offers elite passing and post play, but it lacks the same three-point spacing. And while Kareem dominated in his era, Shaq's physicality and athleticism gives him the upper hand in this matchup. Then, there are fan-favorite combinations like Curry, Jordan, LeBron, Durant, and Jokic. This lineup offers versatility, scoring, and playmaking, but defensively, there's just little going for them. Some of the most historic teams in NBA history include the 2017 Warriors, the 2001 Lakers, and the 1996 Chicago Bulls. But you would have to alternate between these teams to produce a lineup that can defeat Shaq's starting five. Also, the greatest thing about this team is that it blends eras in a way few others do. There's modern spacing, old school physicality, and enough adaptability to succeed in any style of play. Shaq has made some very questionable lineups in the past, like this one.
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Zion Williamson, and LeBron.
And LeBron.
It's not even obvious that such a team would beat the 2017 Warriors, but this new list is one that will stand the test of time in any era. But to tweak this team, some legendary suggestions could be Wilt Chamberlain to replace Shaq, or Bill Russell to replace Tim Duncan. But what other tweaks would you make to this list? If none, do you think there's any lineup out there that can top this juggernaut? Looking forward to reading your all-time starting five in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, watch Michael Jordan was totally right about this era of the NBA next.